Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing 12 Strong, which is another movie that came out this year. And as usual, I'm gonna quickly go through the story of this movie and tell you what the movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my thoughts and opinions about it. So one big spoiler alert across the screen in case you didn't watch this movie and you don't want to get spoiled or whatever, just click away from this video or something. And in case you are interested in my review and you want to hear my thoughts and opinions about this movie, then just stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. So 12 Strong is a movie that came out this year. It's a war/drama type of movie, and I was immediately attracted to it because I really love war movies, and especially if they are based on true events, which is a case with 12 Strong. And I really liked it when I seen a trailer, and I really wanted to check out a movie, so I checked it out yesterday. Yeah, I watched it yesterday. Jeez, I already forgot when I watched that movie. What's wrong with me? Alright, anyways, in this movie we follow our main character, Mick Nelson, which is acted by a guy who acted in all Thor movies, and his name actually is Chris. I don't know his surname, even though my real name is not Chris, it's Christian, but I say Chris because it's like my short middle name or something. Anyways, yeah, forget it. So the movie starts by showing him and his family life. He has a daughter and a wife, and then suddenly behind him on a TV breaking news pop up, and we can see Trade World Center catastrophe where two planes crashed into buildings, and basically terrorist attack that happened in real life. And basically that's where the movie takes place, after attack on America by Al-Qaeda and Bin Laden. And what movie is showing is actually a true story of Mick Nelson going with 11 brave soldiers, and with him, of course, himself, so that makes it 12, and that's why the movie is called 12 Brave. So after he sees that on the news, and after he realized that America was attacked by terrorists, he goes back to military base and asks for permission to go to war against Al-Qaeda. And he asks for gathering up his team and crew of 11 brave soldiers, and himself, of course. That's why the movie is called 12 Brave. And after some time, General gives them permission to go, and they are deployed in Afghanistan, where they are supposed to link up with another resistant warriors of some group that are also fighting Talibans. And that's actually the whole story of this movie. So it's just a movie based on a true story about something that really happened. So we have 12 brave American soldiers going in Afghanistan, linking up with resistance against Talibans, and then they together fight Talibans. So that's really nothing special about the story, but the movie is interesting because it is based on a true story. This is really what happened, and what movie shows you was really a real thing, and it's something that really happened in Afghanistan with those 12 brave soldiers. So story is nothing special, of course. It's a war movie. Don't expect it to have some super cool story. It's just normal war story, but I think it is special because every war story is special in some way, you know. A movie is not trying to tell you some emotional story. A movie is trying to tell you a story of those 12 brave soldiers who went into Afghanistan to fight against Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. And I think they did a pretty good job showing you the whole movie and story. There are some emotional moments, for example, when they are saying goodbye to their families. You know, it's always hard to tell your wife and kids that you're gonna come home while you actually might not come home back from war because you might die. But, you know, that's kind of what I a little bit missed in this movie. You know, it wasn't emotional, for example, like Lone Survivor. That movie was like definition of true friendship, in my opinion. That movie was really focused on connection and emotions between soldiers, and about that they depend on each other and their survival. But in 12 Brave we can't really see that. In 12 Brave movie starts pretty quickly. Stuff in movies starts happening pretty quickly, and then movie throws you into Afghanistan, and then that's where actually a lot of things happens before we actually get into first firefight, before we actually get to see some action. It is kind of a little bit boring about that part, in my opinion, and like I missed more like action. At the beginning, it kind of takes a lot until we get to see like first firefight and all those cool moments of survival and soldiers fighting with each other against Talibans. But what is interesting about this story, this truly based story, is that these 12 brave soldiers were riding horses against Taliban tanks and artillery. And that's what really is interesting. Imagine not having a tank, not having armored vehicle, having absolutely nothing. You have just horses and soldiers armed with guns, maybe some RPGs, and that's it. So they used horses against tanks and armored vehicles. And in my opinion, that's pretty inspiring story. No matter what, they kept fighting. At some points in the movie, you can see a movie telling you the story that these soldiers almost failed in their mission, but they still didn't want to give up. So basically, just like any other war story, it's pretty inspiring and motivational, and that's what I liked about this movie. But in my opinion, I've seen better war movies. For example, Lone Survivor and American Sniper were one of the best I've seen, and 12th Brave didn't exactly give me the same feeling as Lone Survivor or American Sniper. I feel they should like put more emotions between American soldiers. You can't really feel that connection, while actually there was a connection. In war you're gonna do everything for your teammate because you depend on each other. Your survival depends on each other, and that's not really what 12 Brave showed. 12 Brave was more like telling a story about those 12 brave soldiers who were riding horses against tanks, and the movie itself is pretty motivational. The story is really motivational and interesting, but it didn't really give me that brotherly feeling of war. That connection between soldiers is just kind of not there, in my opinion. Action is very well done, in my opinion. You can see all those cool effects of explosions and bullets hitting rocks, and actors did a pretty good job acting. You can see them reloading, you can see them taking cover, you can see them running low on ammo, you can see them fighting and like just trying to survive in whatever situation they get themselves in. But I don't know, it was a good movie, but I definitely seen better. It's not bad, it's okay, it's fun to watch, it's a pretty motivational story, it has a point, but I miss more those like moments where you can actually see connection between those US soldiers. That's what I like miss the most. Because after watching Lone Survivor, I don't know, every other war movie just doesn't seem that good. What I could maybe compare to Lone Survivor is Saving Private Ryan. That movie was also awesome, but yeah, that's just what I want to say. I just miss that connection between soldiers. I miss more emotional moments. It's more action and shooting, but there is no really those moments where they care about each other that much. There are some moments, but they're not that emotional. So story kind of fails to show that part of the war, that part of doing everything for your teammate because you depend on each other. Your survival depends on each other. But in general, movie is not bad. It's fun to watch. It's a cool story. It's a true story, and it's pretty motivational in my opinion. And action scenes are very well done. But also, what I kind of miss is more violence in those combat scenes. I'm used to watching war movies where you can actually see all the blood coming out and those bullet holes on their uniforms and the bleeding effects and all that. This movie doesn't really have that. You know, I'm used to watching war movies that have violence in, that have realism in. Uh, you can't also see those soldiers patching their wounds or anything. You know, they almost don't get injured at all. Like, they survive all these bad stuff and they're somehow unscratched. They barely have any scratches on their faces. That's what I also kinda think that's a missed point in this movie. So they should have put a little bit more realism and a bit more emotions into the story and characters, and I think it would be much better. But okay, in general, it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it, and it was fun to watch, and it was fun to hear that true base story and see it through the movie. So yeah, I think this is pretty much it. These were my opinions and thoughts on 12 Brave. Let me know down below in the comments what are yours. I would like to read them. And if you like this video, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want. If you don't want to, that's also fine, you don't have to. And if you have any questions, link of my as.fm is down below in the description, so feel free to leave any questions over there if you want. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group and follow me over there. I post all kind of stuff over there, just don't ask me what. But yeah, you can join that group if you want. If you don't want to, that's also fine, it's totally up to you. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for 83 subscribers so far. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I'm much happier on this channel than the old one. And that's it. I'll definitely see you in the next videos, guys. And Chris out.